Mercedes has just done something that could change Formula One forever, but hardly anyone is talking about it. A revolutionary technology or a risky bet that could go wrong. Mercedes has introduced an unprecedented advance in Formula One, the use of sustainable carbon fiber composites in the chassis of its new car, the W16. This change not only responds to the increasing environmental demands of the FIA, but also marks a turning point in the way in which teams develop their cars without compromising on-track performance. The key to this innovation lies in the collaboration with companies specializing in composite materials such as INEOS Nitrols, Toray, Ciensco, and Sigmatex, who have worked on the development of a more environmentally friendly carbon fiber, without losing its fundamental characteristics of resistance and lightness. Currently, 75% of the W16 chassis is constructed from these materials, representing the largest implementation of sustainable carbon fiber in Formula One history. The aim of this transition is to reduce the team's carbon footprint without affecting the performance of the car. According to Toto Wolff, homologation tests have confirmed that these new materials meet the most demanding safety and performance standards required by the FIA. However, integrating such an innovative technology into a highly competitive environment is not without its challenges. One of the main challenges is the adaptation of these materials to current manufacturing processes. In Formula One, every detail counts, and any irregularity in the chassis structure can alter the aerodynamics or compromise the durability of the car in extreme conditions. In addition, by relying on external suppliers for the production of these compounds, Mercedes faces an additional logistical challenge, ensuring that the supply is constant and that any necessary adjustments can be made without affecting the team's planning. Beyond the immediate implications, Mercedes' commitment has a clear projection into the future. The FIA has established that carbon neutrality will be a central pillar in the 2026 regulations, and these types of innovations could give the team a strategic advantage when regulations become stricter. By being pioneers in the implementation of these materials, Mercedes is not only meeting current expectations, but is also positioning itself in advance of the changes that will define Formula One in the coming years. While the adoption of sustainable carbon fiber may represent a step forward in terms of innovation and sustainability, its success will depend on the team's ability to remain competitive against rivals who continue to exploit traditional materials to the maximum. The big question is whether this change will allow Mercedes to achieve the perfect balance between ecological efficiency and performance on the track, or whether the transition will still need adjustments before making a real difference in the fight for the championship. Mercedes has faced the 2025 season with a completely renewed strategy in the design of its car. Rather than simply evolving the W15, the team has opted for a thorough overhaul that seeks to correct key deficiencies and maximize every aspect of the W16's aerodynamic and mechanical performance. This transformation is no coincidence, but a direct response to the problems that plagued the team last season, where inconsistency in slow corners and thermal management of tires compromised its competitiveness. The development of the W16 has been focused on addressing these critical points. James Allison, Mercedes technical director, has highlighted that the car's lack of response in low-speed corners was one of the W15's main weaknesses, forcing the team to make significant adjustments to the distribution of downforce. To achieve this, the front wing has been completely redesigned, opting for a more aggressive profile that not only improves corner entry, but also optimizes the car's overall stability. This change allows the car to generate more downforce on the front axle without sacrificing efficiency on straights, resulting in more predictable and balanced driving on different types of circuits. One of the most notable modifications of the new design is the incorporation of side air intakes inspired by the Ferrari SF70H and SF71H of 2017 and 2018. This decision is no coincidence, as Simone Resta, current strategic development director at Mercedes, was one of the key figures in the design of those single-seaters at Ferrari. These air intakes are characterized by the presence of vertical slits that extend from the floor to the upper edge of the side pods, which optimizes the flow of air towards the rear of the car. The aim of this solution is to increase downforce without increasing drag, ensuring greater energy efficiency and better traction when exiting corners. In addition to the aerodynamic changes, the W16 also features adjustments to its internal mechanics. One of the most important changes has been the modification of the gearbox, which maintains the architecture of the W15 but with a slight reduction in length. This adjustment frees up space for a more compact cooling system, improving mass distribution and optimizing the temperature of key components. Thermal management has been a priority aspect in the development of the car, as more efficient cooling not only improves reliability, but also allows engineers to squeeze the most out of the engine's performance in extreme conditions. While the power units are frozen until 2026 by regulation, Mercedes has worked on optimizing the electronic calibration to extract the maximum potential from the engine. Hywel Thomas, Mercedes engine director, has confirmed that updates have been implemented in the energy recovery system, focusing on improving power delivery at key moments, such as acceleration out of corners or overtaking maneuvers. These types of improvements, although they do not alter the engine architecture, can make a difference in a category where every millisecond counts. The changes introduced in the W16 reflect a clear strategy, correcting the weak points of the past without compromising future development. The aerodynamics have been refined to offer a more predictable and competitive car on all types of circuits, while the mechanical improvements have been designed to maximize the efficiency of the car without infringing the limitations of the current regulations. However, the real challenge will be to see if these changes are enough to close the gap with its main rivals. Red Bull and Ferrari have continued to evolve their own concepts, and the key for Mercedes will be to find a balance between maintaining immediate competitiveness and preparing the way for the new 2026 regulations. Mercedes has opted for a driver lineup that combines experience and youth, a strategy that seeks to balance competitive stability with the development of future talent. George Russell assumes the role of undisputed leader of the team, while Kimi Antonelli, one of the most promising youngsters in the Mercedes Junior program, will make his Formula One debut with the responsibility of proving that he is ready to compete at the highest level. Russell comes into the 2025 season mature enough to lead the Mercedes project. Since joining the team in 2022, he has proven to be a fast, intelligent, and meticulous driver in the development of the car. His ability to understand the behavior of the car and provide detailed information to the engineers has been fundamental to the evolution of the W16. Toto Wolff has emphasized on several occasions that Russell represents the future of the team and that, with a competitive car, he has the potential to fight for the championship. One of the most important points this season will be his ability to take over the overall lead after the departure of Lewis Hamilton. Although Russell has shown that he can win races and be consistent, he still has to establish himself as a driver capable of managing the pressure in the fight for the title. During 2024, Mercedes implemented many of the updates that are now part of the W16, but the team's strategy was to wait until it had more consolidated solutions before fully implementing them. This means that Russell will have in his hands a car that, in theory, has been developed based on his own instructions and driving style. The case of Kimi Antonelli is completely different. At just 18 years old, he will be making his Formula One debut in a top-level team, which represents enormous pressure. His rise has been meteoric, coming through the development categories with outstanding performances. However, Formula One is a completely different environment, where adapting to the technical and strategic complexity of the championship can make the difference between success and failure. Mercedes has laid out a progressive development plan for Antonelli, focusing on his adaptation to the car and the pace of the race. Unlike other rookies who have joined lower-level teams with fewer immediate expectations, Antonelli will have to prove his worth in a team with aspirations of winning. To speed up his integration process, the team has planned an extensive program of simulation and private testing, seeking to minimize the learning curve before his first official race. One of the keys to his performance will be his ability to adapt to Formula One tires, which are considerably heavier and more complex to manage than those in the lower categories. Correctly reading the behavior of the compounds during a race is essential to optimize strategy and maintain consistency in pace. In addition, Antonelli will have to get used to the operating procedures of a Formula One team, from communicating with the engineers to managing high-pressure moments in qualifying and the race. The biggest challenge facing Mercedes with this lineup is to maintain a balance between immediate competitiveness and Antonelli's long-term development. While Russell has the potential to lead the team in the fight for wins, any inconsistency in Antonelli's performance could affect data collection in practice sessions and the team's ability to evaluate new upgrades. In a sport where every small adjustment can make a difference, having two drivers who provide accurate and consistent information is key to maximizing the car's performance throughout the season. Despite these challenges, Mercedes' decision to go with Antonelli reflects its confidence in young talent and its vision for the future. In the past, the team has shown that it knows how to develop its drivers, and if Antonelli can adapt quickly, he could become a key piece for Mercedes in the years to come. The big question is whether he can handle the pressure of making his debut in a team with such high expectations and whether Mercedes has made the right decision by trusting him instead of opting for a more experienced driver. Mercedes has built the W16 with a combination of technical innovation and strategic vision that could redefine its position in Formula One. The commitment to sustainable materials not only responds to an ecological need, but also reflects a smart anticipation of the regulations that will come into force in 2026. However, this approach raises a key question. Can a team maintain its immediate competitiveness while investing resources in technologies that will only prove their true value in the future? In terms of performance, the aerodynamic and mechanical modifications have been designed to address the team's main weaknesses in previous seasons. Mercedes has worked on the car's stability in slow corners, on the distribution of aerodynamic load, and on the car's thermal efficiency, with the aim of offering a more predictable and competitive car on different types of circuits. The big question is whether these solutions will be enough to close the gap with Red Bull and Ferrari, which have continued with their own evolutions without the distraction of such a radical change in materials. The driver lineup is another determining factor for the team's success. Russell has proven his ability to lead the project, but now he must take the next step and become a genuine title contender. His performance will be crucial for Mercedes, not only for the results on track, but also for his role in the development of the car throughout the season. Antonelli, meanwhile, has the challenge of proving that he is ready for Formula One in a top-level team. His adaptation and ability to contribute accurate information will be fundamental to the progress of the W16. The balance between immediate competition and preparation for the future will be Mercedes' biggest challenge in 2025. The team has built a car with innovative solutions, but its success will depend on the execution on track. The first races of the season will be key to determining whether the W16 can compete with the best or whether the team will need to make further adjustments to stay in the fight. If Mercedes has made the right decisions, it could be laying the foundations to regain its dominance in Formula One and set a standard for the new era of the category. But if the risks outweigh the benefits, 2025 could become a season of transition with more uncertainties than certainties. Will Mercedes' commitment to sustainability and technical innovation allow them to fight for the championship? Or will they be sacrificing the present in pursuit of an uncertain future? If you want to keep up to date with how this story develops and find out the real impact of the W16 on the season, subscribe and turn on notifications. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this strategy will take Mercedes back to the top, or is it too risky a bet? See you in the next analysis.